I do not encourage nor condone any of the actions performed or products shown in this video. All of the videos are produced in a safe and controlled environment. Do not attempt to replicate any of the actions performed during this video.
Hello, good morning my friends. How are you doing? And welcome to another video. Today I woke up very early, and so although it is still 10:42 a.m, I am already hungry, and I was really craving fast food today. I haven't had fast food in a very long time, so I'm thinking we get some takeout, we go to the park, we eat there, we have a couple of smokes. But first I want to do a little plant update. Coriander is looking great, and the basil too. I'm going to rotate them because they are clearly favoring one of the sides, so I need to rotate them so that they start chasing the light into that other direction. I'm going to show you what I'm going to take. So I'm taking my discourses, which is what I'm reading right now, Epictetus. I'm loving it. I love him. Mwah. I'm taking my journal supplies, because you never know, a bottle of water, and a mixed bag of things that I may need, including some smokes, and rolling supplies, and Smints. Do you guys enjoy Smints as well? I love them very much, very fresh. These ones are eucalyptus. I don't know if that's how you say it in English. Anyway, we gotta go. Let's go. I'm in my mom's car. If you don't know that vine, that's going to be a little bit strange, but man, I used to be Vine Queen back in the day. I knew all of the vines. I watched compilations of vines all of my free time. It was the best thing ever. Hurricane Katrina, more like Hurricane Tortilla. Road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does. Drew Gooden in its early stages. A legend was being made and we didn't even know. Anyway, I'll see you when I have a bag full of goodies. Alrighty, I got to the drive-thru, but I forgot that they only start serving burgers at 11. And so I have to wait 3 more minutes so I can go in and get my order. I'm still not quite sure what I'm going to get, but I think I'm really craving some sort of a cheeseburger or something like that. I haven't had one in a very long time, and I think it's my favorite burger from McDonald's. So yeah, but I'm really excited. I think I'm just needing to sit down on a plot of grass and eat some delicious fast food, read a little bit, think a little bit, and have a couple of smokes. That would be nice. I'm going through a process of reducing how much I smoke. So currently I'm trying to reduce from 3 cigarettes a day to 2. So it's already 11 and I haven't had one today yet. And I usually would have had one in the morning, and then one after lunch, and then one after dinner. So that was kind of what I was doing. And I'm trying to reduce, so I think I'm going to have one after lunch and maybe one after dinner. I don't know, we'll see. I am going to go inside, get my order now, not taking the camera because I am afraid of teenagers watching me record, and there are a lot of teenagers in this specific McDonald's, so see you when I come back. Just arrived. Now my plan is to find a place to build my little camp somewhere around here. I'm gonna go pick up my things and we'll go find our spot. Alright, found this little spot right here. It's quite nice. This is the view to that side. This is the view to that side. And I'm here next to a tree. I'm going to show you everything that I got. So I have a peach iced tea, which is the drink I always get. It's my favorite. I don't know why. I love the watered down version of McDonald's. I have a mini M&M McFlurry, which is my favorite McFlurry. They were having a promotion, which was a lunch promotion. So a lunch menu with the drink and the burger and the side, and another side was €6. I have some fries. I haven't eaten a McDonald's fry in so long. I got a double cheeseburger, which is exactly what I was wanting, to be honest. And this is my favorite sauce, which is mayonnaise and garlic. So I'm going to open it right now to make it easier for myself. These easy openings, I swear, they are never easy, man. I've been trying the hardest I've ever tried in my life to open any of these easy openings. And then they always come out half crooked. Maybe I'm the problem. And then I also have some soup. This one is the Camponesa soup, so it's all brown. Cannot show you very well, but I'll show you when it's on my spoon. I don't think this is common for many other countries, but McDonald's in Portugal has soup and they are quite good. So this one is beans, cabbage, carrots, all sorts of vegetables, and it's very nice. Let's try this double cheeseburger. This is my favorite hamburger from McDonald's. Girl, I don't know. I know there are many other more sophisticated, complicated options, but this one just is my favorite. It hits all of the right spots. Also, it's one of the cheapest, so I'm not too mad. It's just the saltiness of the patty with the sweetness of the bread or the bun or however you call it. It hits all right for me, and I don't even know why. A little bit of my watered down iced tea. This to me, unironically, is so much better than iced tea from the bottle because I always find it to be too sweet. But because I think McDonald's and like fast food chains put a lot of water into it and also the ice, it just feels a lot less sweet and I like it a lot more. I do have to say though, the lady working there was so rude, and I felt very, very bad because if you are this rude at 11 in the morning, it must mean that your day is already not going super well, and maybe your week, maybe your month, I don't know. I try to be very cheerful, and I think I'm quite charismatic whenever I'm outside talking to people I've never seen before, or people in customer service, all of these things. This soup is astronomically good. If you ever come to Portugal, I would say don't have any doubts about trying McDonald's soup. Ask for a couple of packets of salt if you need them, but it's really good. And I was trying to be, I guess, my goofy normal self, and she was just having none of it, so I toned it down a little bit when I realized that, you know, I was probably just annoying her even more, and I just left feeling sort of sad. Alright, I had to move a little bit out of the sun because it was getting too scorching. It is already feeling so much like spring, and I'm so happy. I'm usually the happiest at this time of the year. I am a very, very, very big fan of spring. I think there's just so much hope in hearing all of these new birds and animals that are starting to come, and just seeing all of the new flowers bloom and trees. And I mean, look at all of this grass. Usually during the summer everything is cut down here, so it just looks like a plot of mud, so it's not very visually appealing, but right now in spring it's in full bloom and it looks so beautiful. Alright, I'm going to try some fries with the mayonnaise garlic sauce, which I love so much. This is my favorite sauce from them. There's just something so good about the simplicity of mayonnaise and garlic. I love it. It probably looks a little bit strange that I'm out here sitting with all of my gear and all of my things and food and all of that, because the grass around me is quite tall. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it goes up to, I would say, where my waist is, and so people don't usually sit here, but I don't know, there was something about being in the grass that was calling me. Sometimes when I feel very cluttered after being inside for quite some time, I start wanting to be outside surrounded by nature, and so that was exactly the vibe that I was going for today. I'm going to try a little bit of the McFlurry. I haven't had a McFlurry in more than a year at this point. It is so good. I love all of the colors from the M&Ms. Alright, I have seen that a lot of people dip their fries on their McFlurry. Now I think this is quite outrageous, but I've never tried it, and so I cannot judge before I have my own experience. So, alright, McFlurry fry. Hold on. Wait. I thought this was one of those internet things where people tell you to do very weird stuff and it doesn't turn out to be good at all. But this is not the case. That is interesting. That is very, very surprisingly good. I'm going to be having my smoke now. A little bit of an interlude mid-eating. I have been having a hard time with managing my consumption. I have noticed that over the years I think about nicotine a lot more than I used to, and so now that I'm trying to reduce, a lot of my thoughts in the morning are, oh my god, I wish I could have a cigarette right now. But you know, resilience, self-control, these things must be put at the forefront of my objectives, you know, and so that's what I'm doing. But it's no easy flowing. I don't want to make it seem like it's something that's super easy to do, because it's not, you know. That's why everybody tells you that starting to smoke in general is a bad idea. It's because it's very difficult to keep it under control, and when you go a little bit out of control, it's very difficult to get yourself back into a position of a little bit more of control. So yeah, but there's something that is helping me a lot actually, which is reading Epictetus. This is my second Epictetus book. I had read the manual before, which had given me the best life advice which I had ever read in a book, which was, if you don't let people mess with your personal space, if you don't let someone come and attack you, you know, you will try to defend yourself, you will try to run and avoid these things from happening, you know. Then why do you let people mess with your mental space with no resistance, you know? You just keep thinking about these people that did something bad to you, and you let them take all of your brain space. And why would you do that? If you don't allow the physical space to be taken, you shouldn't allow the mental space to be taken either. And so I was very excited when I saw discourses on discount, because I already knew I was going to get some great insights from this book too. Epictetus is one of the founding fathers of Stoicism, and this book just has many great insights. I already wrote some in my journal here. I feel like in general it just helps me look at things with a lighter perspective, you know. He talks a lot about enjoying nature and enjoying your senses. Enjoy the things you can see, the things you can smell, the things you can taste. Be present. He talks a lot about using challenges as a test of our capabilities. So of course nobody wants to go through hard things, but if you never go through hard things, you will never become stronger and calmer and more resilient to these coming hard things that are going to keep happening, you know, because life is not smooth sailing. There's always up and downs. And so I've started looking at challenges as something to be grateful for and to use to my advantage, instead of something that I'm too anxious about and trying to solve as fast as I can. You know, go through the difficulties, be present in these difficulties and learn something from them and come out of them with some new knowledge. I think these are very good insights that I always get from him. He talks a lot about not wanting things that are out of our control. You know, the only thing you can control is your will and the way that you act and react towards things. Everything else can be taken away from you, can be given to you, and you will have to deal with it as best as you can. But it just gives me this strength, almost like a superpower. Whenever I'm going through something difficult, I always think of Epictetus, and I almost think, how would Epictetus act in this situation, you know? And I feel like that really helps me go through it a lot more gracefully. He also talks a lot about acting in accordance to who you want to be. So there is a quote in this specific book that says something like, you cannot expect to act as an unhealthy person so that one day you can be a healthy person, you know? You have to act in the way that you want to ultimately be. So comes a hard situation, I cannot act in anxiety, in anger, if I want to be a calmer, lighter person, you know? I have to face these challenges, how the ultimate me would face them, you know? And it just gives me so much hope to have these perspectives in my life. Eating a little bit more of my soup. He also talks about the masters of our life. So who are the ultimate masters of the human being? What are the motivating forces that we have in our lives that make us move? So that would be death, life, pleasure, and pain, you know? We constantly try to do things to avoid pain, and we constantly try to do things to chase pleasure. And so just being aware of the way you are reacting. Why am I acting in this way? Am I avoiding pain? Am I chasing pleasure, you know? I think it just makes you be all that more aware about your conduct. And I would say that if you are trying to, just like me, eventually get yourself to a place where you feel the most peaceful you've ever felt, the most content you've ever felt, you have to constantly analyze the way you act towards everything and the way you are reacting to things. Am I reacting to this thing in anger, and why? Why does this make me feel angry or anxious or irritated, you know? How can I get myself to a place where this no longer makes me feel this way? What kind of perspective can I adopt in order to get myself to a lighter place, you know? I really, really love the pickles in these hamburgers. I love pickles in general. I'm thinking of getting a jar of pickles so I can have in my fridge and have one here and there sometimes, because they are so crunchy. They are kind of spicy too. I just love them very much. Hamburger has been eaten. I'm going to go to my McFlurry now. You know, I guess I've been feeling the best I've ever felt in my life. I've been feeling the happiest, the calmest, the most content, and I'm just so proud of myself, because for so many years I never thought this would ever be possible for me. I thought I was just that type of person that is always going to be pessimistic and sad and gloomy, and I didn't like this about myself. I didn't want to be like this forever, but it didn't feel like change was possible. And I feel like philosophy really has been what helped me the most. I've been through therapy for many years in my life, and surely it did help, you know, having somebody to talk to and try to process my feelings and my issues that I had in my brain, which I still am processing and I still very much have. There are a lot of unresolved pains that I'm attending to right now, you know, but reading philosophy, especially Stoicism, absurdism, getting away from nihilism and more into an optimistic look into life. I would say that maybe absurdism is the opposite of nihilism, where nihilism is kind of you being like, nothing matters, what is the point of everything? I am sad, there is no point, I don't want to be here. And absurdism would be like, nothing makes sense, there is no point to anything, I can do anything I want, yay, you know. I don't know, try to look a little bit into philosophy if you're feeling a little bit down. It may help you, like it helped me, you know. I feel so hopeful because there is still so much to learn now, and there is still so much evolution that I will go through, and if I feel like this at this time, I wonder how good I will feel when I have acquired many more perspectives through life. So I think in general I'm just feeling a lot more hopeful. I have come out of a very hard period of my life and into light, literally. I think the arrival of spring also helps a lot. After going through a period of gloomy day after rainy day, cold day, being able to sit in the sun and enjoy this is such a gift. So yeah, my friends, thank you so much for having some lunch with me today. I have greatly appreciated it. Thank you for your time and your patience, and I hope to see you very soon. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your days. And yeah, bye!